What if everything you see, touch, and believe is a lie? What if the earth you think is solid and unquestionable is nothing more than a carefully scripted illusion? For centuries, philosophers and mystics have warned us of a hidden truth. The world is not what it seems. Beneath everyday life lies a secret story, one that involves you, your purpose, and the real reason you were born. From your very first breath, you stepped into a web of ideas, symbols, and invisible scripts shaping your reality. You learn names for things, categories for experiences, and rules for what is considered real or unreal. Yet behind all of this training, your consciousness still felt a subtle pulse, a quiet sense that something essential was missing. This is not an accident. In fact, the feeling that Earth feels strange, temporary, or illusory is one of the oldest human intuitions. Philosophers from Plato to Schopenhauer spoke of a world of appearances and a hidden world of truth. Mystics from India to Egypt spoke of Maya, the cosmic illusion. Even modern physicists hint that reality may be more like information than matter. If this sounds strange, it is meant to, because it shakes you out of the trance of daily life and invites you to remember who you are. Imagine walking through a vast and ancient library. Each shelf contains stories of lives, cultures, and entire civilizations. Most people only ever read one book, the story handed to them at birth, and they never question that it might be just one version among millions. But some souls are born with a deeper hunger. They look up from their single book and see the endless shelves stretching into infinity. They begin to suspect that their personal story is part of a much larger narrative, and that they chose to enter it for a reason. This is the threshold you now stand upon. The more you sense the unreality of Earth, the closer you come to remembering why you came here. Many traditions describe Earth as a school, a dream, or even a simulation. These are metaphors, but they point to something real. Experience is not random. Your challenges, your relationships, even your moments of despair are not meaningless accidents. They are lessons, mirrors, and catalysts. When you start to view life this way, the texture of your reality changes. Obstacles stop feeling like punishments and start feeling like invitations. Pain becomes a teacher. Uncertainty becomes a path. Even your mistakes reveal hidden intelligence, as if some larger aspect of you is guiding the plot. This is why so many ancient texts describe human life as a journey of remembrance. You're not here to become someone else. You are here to wake up to who you already are. Think about how children play pretend. They enter imaginary worlds with such total immersion that for a time, the game feels absolutely real. Only when they stop playing do they laugh and say, "It was just a game." Similarly, your soul may have entered Earth's game to experience growth, contrast, and creation. The forgetting is part of the experience, because only by forgetting can you truly rediscover. Yet there comes a moment in every seeker's life when the edges of the illusion start to show. Coincidences feel like messages. Dreams blend with waking life. Long-buried memories rise like bubbles from deep water. This is the beginning of remembrance, and it is happening to more people now than ever before. Earth's landscapes, cultures, and even crises can be seen as symbols in a vast collective dream. The forests and oceans are not just resources, but living metaphors of your own inner wilderness and depth. The cities with their constant noise mirror the restless chatter of the mind. Wars echo the inner conflicts we each carry between fear and love. To see the world this way is not to dismiss it as fake, but to engage with it more consciously. Just as a lucid dreamer can choose how to act within a dream, a lucid human can choose how to act within Earth's stage. This is the essence of freedom, not escaping the world but awakening inside it. You might wonder how this perspective can change your daily life. It begins with subtle shifts. When someone offends you, you pause and ask what lesson or mirror is being offered. When you feel lost, you imagine that you are in the middle of a chapter whose ending you cannot yet see. When you feel inspired, you treat it as a clue from the deeper self that sent you here. Over time, these small practices accumulate. You feel less like a victim of circumstance and more like a participant in a meaningful unfolding. This is the beginning of remembering why you came to Earth. Every soul's reason is unique, but common threads run through them all. Some come to heal old wounds. Some come to create beauty. Some come to test the limits of courage or compassion. Some come to act as quiet catalysts for others. And many come simply to taste the richness of contrast, to know joy by experiencing sorrow, to know freedom by experiencing limitation. This may sound abstract, but it is deeply practical. The next time you feel the weight of daily life pressing on you, imagine that you are an actor who stepped onto this stage voluntarily, with a script you helped to write but chose to forget. Ask yourself what quality you came here to embody. Perhaps it is patience, or wisdom, or love. Perhaps it is the courage to break old patterns. Each moment then becomes an opportunity to express that quality, to fulfill that purpose, and to gradually wake up from the trance of separation. When you live from this awareness, even ordinary scenes take on a luminous quality. A sunrise is not just light, but a reminder of the light within you. A stranger's smile is not random, but a mirror of the kindness you radiate. A setback is not meaningless, but a doorway to deeper strength. In this way, remembering why you came here does not require leaving Earth. It requires seeing Earth with new eyes, as a living classroom of symbols and experiences designed for your growth. The more you practice this, the more the illusion softens, and the more your authentic self emerges. As this awareness deepens, you begin to sense a quiet guidance moving through your days, a kind of invisible compass pointing you toward the experiences that matter most. Synchronicities increase. People appear at the right moment. Books fall off shelves. Ideas arrive in your dreams. You may even feel waves of recognition in unexpected places, as if some part of you planned these meetings long before you arrived. This is not magical thinking, but a sign that you are aligning with your original intention. When you remember why you came to Earth, the world itself starts to respond differently. It becomes less of a maze and more of a dialogue between your soul and the stage it chose. At first, this can feel destabilizing. Old habits lose their grip. Relationships shift. Careers no longer fit. Yet beneath the uncertainty is a powerful sense of aliveness. You realize that you are not losing yourself, but shedding what no longer reflects your true nature. This is why so many spiritual traditions speak of rebirth, not as an afterlife event, but as something that can happen while you are still alive. Each time you release a false identity, you are reborn a little more into the self that came here with a purpose. Philosophy, at its core, has always been about this awakening. Socrates urged people to know themselves. The Buddha spoke of seeing through illusion. Existentialists described the courage required to live authentically in a world of appearances. These were not abstract exercises, but invitations to remember. By questioning, observing, and living consciously, you retrace the steps back to your own center. And from that center, your life gains a clarity that no external authority can provide. You begin to trust your inner signals more than the noise of the crowd. One of the most surprising effects of this remembrance is the softening of fear. When you understand that Earth is a chosen experience, death itself changes meaning. It is no longer an abrupt ending, but a transition, like an actor stepping off stage between acts. This does not make life less precious. It makes it more so. You savor your relationships, your work, even your struggles, because you see them as fleeting chances to embody qualities you cannot express in any other realm. Gratitude grows naturally. Compassion becomes effortless. Even small gestures carry cosmic weight. Living this way also transforms how you see others. Instead of judging them as obstacles or threats, you recognize them as fellow travelers in the same vast classroom. Some play the role of teachers, some of mirrors, some of challengers who awaken your strength. When someone hurts you, you still set boundaries, but you do so with understanding rather than bitterness. When someone loves you, you receive it as a sacred exchange rather than an accident. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to practice the essence of why you came here. This shift does not happen overnight. It unfolds in layers, like a dawn spreading across a dark horizon. Some days you will feel deeply connected. Other days you will slip back into old patterns. That is part of the process. Remembering is not a single event, but an ongoing act of choice. Each morning you awaken not only from sleep, but from the smaller forgettings of the day before. Each evening, you have a chance to reflect on how fully you lived your purpose. Over time, these small acts of remembrance accumulate into a new baseline of consciousness. The more you practice, the more Earth reveals itself as a living text full of hidden messages. The seasons teach patience. The tides teach rhythm. The stars teach perspective. Even your own body becomes a scroll of wisdom, holding memories and emotions that, once understood, release their lessons. This is why healing and awakening often go hand in hand. By tending to your inner wounds, you unlock the very knowledge you came here to embody. You discover that the key to the mystery was within you all along. Perhaps you're listening to these words because something in you already suspects this truth. Perhaps you have felt out of place, as if you were walking through someone else's dream. Perhaps you have experienced moments of overwhelming beauty or insight that you cannot explain. These are not coincidences. They are invitations. They are your own soul knocking at the door of your awareness, asking you to remember. The question is not whether the earth is real or illusory, but whether you are ready to live here with the clarity of who you truly are. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, if I truly chose to come here, what did I come to express? Was it courage, wisdom, creativity, love? How might my life look if every challenge were a chance to embody that quality more fully? Share your reflections in the comments below, because your story might be the key that helps someone else unlock their own remembrance. In the end, the Earth's mystery is not meant to trap you, but to awaken you. By stepping into this deeper awareness, you transform your life from a series of random events into a meaningful journey. You stop drifting and start creating. You stop reacting and start responding. And in doing so, you become a beacon for others who are still asleep in the dream. This is the quiet revolution of consciousness, and it begins with you. If these words resonate with you, let them be a reminder. You are more than your circumstances, more than your fears, and more than the story you were handed at birth. You came here for a reason. Remember it, live it, share it. And if this message has stirred something inside you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue exploring these hidden truths together.